Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. My name is Ahjinae if you don't know me already, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how I achieve these boho knotless braids using human hair.
Can you handle it if I go there, baby, with you? I can handle it, I can go there, baby, I can.
So I've had this look in for about 3 weeks so far, and I'm just loving the way they still look. They still look fresh to me, and it's probably because I use some human hair. So if you want to know how I achieve this look, just keep on watching. To achieve this look, I'll be using Zuri's pre-stretched braiding hair in 60 inches in the color 1B, Shine and Jam as well as Let's Jam gel along with Kiss Edge Fixer Edge Control, a rat tail comb for precision parting, some clips to help separate the hair while braiding, and of course the star of the show, one bundle of Ibiza's Deep Wave Human Hair in 18 inches. Okay, so because I'm like a part perfectionist and I feel like I need to see everything when it comes to me braiding my hair, I love to do my hair in the bathroom. One, because I have this huge, large mirror, and then I also use another mirror that's from IKEA that I place up against the wall at a slight angle. That way I'm able to see the back of my head, whether it's from my left side or looking at it this way, and I can see the back of my head on my right side. So I'm able to see all angles of my head when I'm parting and braiding. An alternative setup can be a 3-point mirror system as I have here, which I'll be using in the beginning of this video. I like to start off with clean, fresh hair that has been washed and blow dried and sometimes even flat ironed to stretch my natural hair to help the braid last longer and minimize frizz. I'm going to begin by parting my hair into 3 sections, starting in the back from ear to ear. Next, I'm going to give myself a bust down middle part so that way I can achieve an overhead ear to ear part to separate the top from the midsection. And I'm just going to go over it as many times as needed to make sure I have a clean part. For my back section, I'm going to split my hair in half and then begin to section it off for each braid. And being that I want them kind of small, I'm going to section off the first row into 4. So now with this one bundle of deep wave, I'm going to be cutting from it as needed so it can be easier for me to work with. I'm going to work with about this much hair at a time. I then cut the hair from the weft as this will be the hair that will be fed throughout the braids. We got inches. Okay, anyways, I'm going to also give it a good comb through to get rid of any fillers so I can work with a unified length. Now, from the section I just cut, I'm going to grab a full curl, and from that curl, I'm going to begin separating it into about 3 pieces. And those pieces will be for one braid, depending on how I space them. For my braiding hair, I usually use the first line on my index finger as a guide to know how much hair to grab for each braid. And just like with the curls, I separate each piece into about 3 to 4 more pieces to feed in as I complete a braid. Now with the first section done, I'm going to continue parting my hair across until it forms a U shape while lining it up with the sections I'll be parting out in the front. To help make my parts crisp, I add jam to it and then repart it again for cleaner lines. After I make sure my lines are clean, I pre-part my hair in each row and separate it with rubber bands so I can have an idea as to where each braid will be. I part my hair using the brick method so that way the braids above can lie in between the braids underneath. This technique helps me save some time on perfecting my parts and also gives me an idea as to where each braid will be and how they will fall. It also helps me visually see how many braids I have left as I'm doing them. Cause your girl be needing a break, so I'd be like, all right, if I have like 3 braids left in this row, I could take a break. So I'd be like, all right, cool, let's get it. So for each braid, I add gel or edge control to the root of it before I get started. And then I'm also going to comb or brush through the hair so that way I could distribute the product. I then separate my hair into 3 strands and then braid about 2 to 3 times before I add in a piece of braiding hair. When I add the hair in, I add it between my index and thumb of the opposite hand and then continue the braiding motion a few more times before adding in the second piece. I make sure that I braid tightly and taut for a longer lasting braid. I'll continue adding hair in as needed until the pieces that I separated for each individual braid are all used. Once I get the braid to a certain length, I bring it forward so I can braid it a little faster. And then I also add product to the ends of my hair to keep it slick within. Now to add in the human hair, it's very simple and easy. All I'm going to do is add it in the same exact way I've added in the braiding hair, except after braiding it in about 3 times, I'm going to separate the curl from the rest and then continue on with the braid. So I continue this throughout the entire braid, adding in as many curly pieces as I desire, which usually ends up being about 3 to 4 pieces. I know some braids in the back and in the middle I skipped around a little bit just to make sure that I had enough curly hair for the top of my head. You know, I didn't know how far this bundle was going to stretch, so I just wanted to make sure I had enough. But for the most part, each braid had some type of curl added to it. For the ends, I'm going to do the exact same thing as before. Here, I am showing it being done in a slower motion, hoping you can see and understand exactly what I've been doing. Now, some people like to add the curly pieces at the end and then seal it with nail glue and then cut the braiding hair, but I'm not going to do that because this braiding hair curls very well. So I'm just going to continue braiding it to the end, or at least until I feel like the added curly pieces is secure enough, and then later on when I'm finished with my head, I'm just going to curl the ends. Now just look at my braid looking like a Puerto Rican. She's Puerto Rican. So this example is going to be a closer look on how I've been braiding my hair and feeding in the human hair. So hopefully everything I explained earlier makes sense. So again, I'm just going to add jam or edge control to the base of my hair. Then I'm going to brush the product through, and then I'm going to separate my hair into 3 strands and then begin braiding.
I'm willing to tell you everything on the between us. What if I take you too much? What about you? I can handle it. I can go there. 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 I go there for you. I can handle it. I can go So don't worry about the situation.
Now, once the braid is complete, I go through and snip any pieces of hair that may be sticking out, like the blunt end of the curly hair or the braiding hair, just as long as it's not my hair. The last and final braid. And a million hours later, I have completed my hair. Although this took me about 2 days to complete, it turned out so pretty. Like, I really like this look on me. Like, look at this, it's so cute. Now let me hit y'all with a flip over. Get into it, get into it, okay. Y'all see these edges? Baby hair on fleek, the fuck. This is how much hair I had left over from the curly bundle, which is still quite a lot, so I did pretty good with my usage. So this is how my ends are looking. So to make them look much better, I'm going to be curling my ends with flexi rods and then dipping the braids in hot water.
I got something to say, babe.
After drying them a bit with a towel, this is how the ends turned out. Curly and cute. I just love how the braiding hair blends in so well with the curls. And this is the final look. I just love how these turned out. And these clips here, my hair is about 3 weeks old, so the good thing about this style is that it's meant to give a messy boho vibe. So if you have them in for a while, they will still look good, especially with the help of the human hair instead of them getting matted fast by using synthetic hair. And anytime I wanted my curls to be more defined, I just use a curling wand to get them back popping. But yeah, this is how I achieved my knotless boho braids with human hair. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and tell a friend to do the same. So with that being said, hope you guys have a great day and see you next time.